Hey guys, welcome back. Dimma here. Today we're going to be talking about fashion and we're going to be talking about style. In this video, I'll share with you guys tips and tricks on how to look sophisticated and put together. Out of these words like elegant, expensive can flow, but I'm not focusing on elegant and expensive in this video. It's about looking sophisticated and put together. I've gotten questions in this area, and these are also words that some of you have used like to describe my style on social media and the way that I dress. So I was like, yeah, I like videos like this where I actually describe things that I have never described to you guys. Like, just I'm forced to actually put things down so that I'm able to explain in a way that will help you guys. This video is also not going to be one of those videos where I say don't wear this, don't wear that, don't wear skinny jeans, they are trashy, don't wear crop tops, they're not elegant, you know, things like that. That's not what we're going to be doing, because I've seen people whose styles are more like minimal, right? And they look sophisticated and put together when they're done, right? And I've seen people whose styles, they're kind of minimal, but then they actually struggle when the dress code is sophisticated or when they're trying to look put together, irrespective of the fact that their style is very minimal. I've also seen women and even men sometimes who gravitate towards like clothes and items that are very exuberant. We could even say flamboyant, colorful, bright, bold, and they are still able to look sophisticated and put together, right? It's you being able to, irrespective of style, adhere to specific dress codes. I think that it is so important. And that's what we're going to be going through in this video. So this video is for people who, regardless of what your leanings are when it comes to style, like what you gravitate towards when it comes to style, want to look sophisticated and put together. Number one is iron and steam your clothes. I feel like this goes without saying, and some of you will be like, Dimma, who doesn't iron their clothes? Some people don't. Okay, they think it's too much work. And I get it, because ironing can be very annoying. But then again, it adds so much to your overall appearance. You don't want to look like you rumpled out of the bed, or like you just brought your clothes out of the washing machine and then it's gone through the dryer and you just put the t-shirt like that. I know that there is a look for when you're trying to look a bit rumpled and scruffy. Those are not the people I'm talking to. I'm talking to people who legit are allergic to ironing, okay? And even for work interviews, even for just like very official type of situations, it's something you struggle with. Guys, I beg you and I promise you, if you can at least, with things, especially with lighter fabrics that you know crumple and crinkle really quickly, if you at least put effort into eliminating whatever wrinkling you have after you've done laundry or after you've stored, just try to do these things. Like, try to steam, try to iron. It will go a long way in elevating your overall look, your overall outfit. In certain social like gatherings, it's actually considered respect. It's like you put effort, right? You also don't want to look like you showed up somewhere without effort whatsoever. It's almost as if you don't rate your host, you don't rate the person who has invited you, you don't rate the events that you've come to, you don't rate the person you've come, you don't even rate the establishment you've entered. It's just important, right, that you iron and steam your clothes, okay? Try it, at least maybe do it for at least a month or two consistently. You will even get positive feedback from people who see you rumpled all the time. Number two is personal hygiene. And some of you are probably like, at this point, Dimma, personal hygiene, ironing your clothes, these are no-brainers. Actually, they are really not, depending on where you're coming from. Okay, and I'm actually not even trying to be anyhow, but you leave an impression. It just goes beyond how good your clothes look, because if you iron your clothes, you also don't want, there are people that whenever I think of their face, I remember the way their mouth smelled on a particular occasion. You really don't want that for yourself. So that extra 5-10 minutes that it will take you at any given time, brush your teeth, scrape your tongue, okay? Use antiperspirant. This falls under this. Antiperspirant, deodorant, a lot of them, like, is a 2-in-1 thing, right? And with this, you're tackling two things. First, you don't want to be smelling funky, right? It's the same thing with the mouth. Sometimes there are people that whenever I think about them, I remember how they smelled first. You don't want to leave that type of impression. It goes a long way. And then you also don't want to be the person who puts a lot of effort into steaming their clothes. You select the clothes, you line it up, they look so good, right? And then you iron it and they look so sharp. But then you have sweat stains under your armpits. That affects the overall look that you're going for. So use antiperspirant, use deodorant, goes a really long way. I promise you guys. your nails as well. With this, I'm not even really going to get into the nitty-gritty because people like to keep their nails like different ways. Some people like it really short, some people like it really long. However you like to keep your nails, the most important thing is that there is no, like, you don't want to hold up your hands while you talk at any interval and there's a layer, like a gunk of dirt underneath. It doesn't make sense. Does not make sense at all. I remember, like, and I'm telling you guys how this can also just change the overall way that people perceive you. There's this actor, there's a shoot he did with a magazine. It went viral sometime a few years ago, and he's really hot, guys, really good looking guy. I don't know how nobody bothered to actually double check his nails. And I remember, like, I had seen that picture, and for you to see the way things tend to trend on Twitter, for example, is you kind of see it trend for like maybe it's 2 days or 3 days before one person picks an issue with that thing, and the overall tone of feedback that you've been getting or the person has been receiving for that one thing can change. So I looked at it, I thought he looked really good, he was shining, it was his time, and then somebody now goes and zooms in on his nails. And every time I think about that particular shoot now, I remember that there was a layer of dirt underneath his nails. You don't want that. Please take care of your nails, guys. How you now prefer to keep it, I've seen ladies with long nails look elegant, I've seen them look sophisticated, I've seen them put together. Your nails can be long and you would look put together. I've seen people saying things like, oh, long nails are tacky, you want short manicure. Excuse me, I don't believe in any of that. I just know that however you decide to keep your nails, the most important thing is that they're not dirty. You know, if you eat, if you do certain things, there are even nail brushes. If you don't have a nail brush, go and buy a toothbrush and just have a spare one that whenever you eat anything you think can like sinks into your manicure, you use the brush and you go over the sides and underneath and get rid of everything. It goes a long way. Okay, number 3, okay, and this is because I'm a beauty girly, because I'm a makeup girly, I would highly recommend to my fellow makeup enthusiasts that you find a very basic version of your go-to favorite makeup routine. And this is a version of that makeup look that involves just the basics and the essentials. So maybe foundation, contouring, like you need a version of your makeup that does not maybe contain a bold, bright lip or elaborate eye makeup. Very important. You need to practice this and you need to perfect it, and I'm going to explain the reason why. Even for eyeshadow, like maybe figure out if you like bold, vibrant colors, make sure that you also know how to do eyeshadow looks using neutral colors as well, right? The reason for this is because there will be certain situations where you making an appearance with like neon, like eyeliner, like a butterfly design and all of that, if that is what your everyday is, will kind of set the tone of how certain things will go. It will also can be communicated, or because people can read meaning into a lot of things, or they can be like, oh, this is just not the appropriate thing for this and I don't know what you're trying to communicate. A perfect example is a work interview. If you're going to interview to work in a bank, for example, or a very corporate environment where they have a certain type of structure, you honestly also do not want neon green eyes, like certain things. Do your regular makeup, but like just figure out how to incorporate or possibly only use neutral colors. Okay, very, very important. Work interviews, solemn occasions where maybe like something that is just not the happiest is being marked or celebrated. You don't want to appear like looking as if you're trying to make a statement or trying to look as if you want people to like not miss you. And this is not even about the way you're dressed, but like there are certain things like where if people are trying to focus on certain things, if you're the lady with like neon green eyeshadow, it's going to be very, very easy for you to stand out in a crowd that looks a certain type of way. So just figure out the most basic version of your makeup routine and practice it, and figure out how to make sure that it consists of just mostly neutral colors. Okay, so that's it. That's one. Another reason for this also is for when you don't have time as well. Sometimes you might have just like maybe 10-20 minutes to put yourself together like an entire look in order to go somewhere, but you also don't want to, it's not like anywhere, it's the place where you have to also appear and look a certain type of way. You don't have the time to do some of all these other delicate designs that you might do with your makeup. So you want a version that doesn't take a lot of time but bangs. Irrespective of what your leanings are, when it comes to style, for example, you have to have like staples, like basics, right? So even if you like brighter colors, have at least one pencil skirt. Okay, there are occasions that will call for it. Have pencil skirts, possibly, especially neutrals. I would highly recommend, even if you love bright bold colors, neutrals, you can have them just in case. It's important. Blacks, whites, shirts, jackets, have all those things. You can wear the colorful things depending on how you style underneath or how you decide to style, but like have the neutrals like as basics and just keep them, right? But aside just having things in neutral colors, also having things in specific styles is very, very important. At least, even if you like bright colors, you want at least one cocktail dress, okay? You want at least one dress that you can wear to church. No matter how bright or not bright or neutral it is, you want a dress in that particular style. You want or pants in the particular style that you can wear to the office, you can wear for a job interview. You can just, it doesn't matter the color, although I think that neutrals are important, but it also doesn't matter the color as long as you have items that will work and fit into very specific dress codes, you know? Because sometimes, even in this Lagos, sometimes you can get, this dress code, cocktail hour. Like, you know, like the way they kind of write dress code sometimes, and people are scrambling around trying to meet up. But then if you have certain types of basics, or irrespective of your style, you have a dress that you know works for different types of occasions, helps. A pants that work for different types of occasions, skirts that work for different types of occasions, dresses with different types of cuts, midi, maxi, short, you know? You can also just think about it like this, okay? Low back, high back, neck, you know, all those things, think about it. But things that are considered staples in your wardrobes, just make sure that you have them. And then you can now mix and match as you please. The last one is grooming and hair. And this is just like taking extra care, putting extra effort into your appearance and just your hair in general. Invest in a good comb, invest in a brush. Very, very important, so that you're able to brush and comb your hair. Also hydrate. Very, very important that you hydrate your hair. There's also like the body as well. Make sure that make sure you apply lotion, guys. You also don't want to steam your clothes and do a lot of all these things that I've said, and I remember your white knuckles or your white elbows or your white knees. So take the extra care, or just put in that extra 5 minutes and apply lotion all over your body, especially during the dry season, okay? This is all part of grooming. And the last thing that I'd like to say for this particular point is figuring out, especially for my girlies who have long hair, is to figure out how to style your hair in a way that kind of puts hair off of your face, like in buns. For example, like even taking passports here in Nigeria, you're required to have hair off of your face and your ears showing. So figure out sophisticated ways to actually do that. There are so many inspirations on Pinterest, so many tutorials here on YouTube. Figure out it doesn't matter if your hair is locked, if it's braids, if it's weaves, if it's a sewing, if it's a wig. Just find ways to actually kind of just style hair so that it's off your face. Practice, take the time out and practice. There are also like social gatherings sometimes that might call for it, depending, sometimes even burials, where you're expected not to stand out, right? Just pack your hair. Figure out ways to kind of play around with your hair so that styling your hair in that particular manner is not a difficult thing at all for you to do. So that's essentially it for this video. I told you guys it was very, very straight to the point, and some of it might sound like, oh, but like, I've heard this before. Actually, listen to me and put it into practice. Guys, don't mind me, but I'm saying like they sound a bit generic, but like we hear things a lot of the time without actually putting it into practice over a period of time. Try. You're going to look so put together, right? So sophisticated if you actually have these things at the back of your mind every time you set to dress up and show up somewhere. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to me if you're not yet subscribed. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next one. Mwah.